When I saw first pictures which were coming from the television and pictures which were sent me by my relatives, I was horrified because that was the worst case scenario for the region. It's a time bomb which was created by Stalin, and I was horrified. Central Asia is not very well known part of the world, but in a nutshell it consists of two kinds of people, of settled and sedentary people like Uzbeks, Tajiks, who are more sort of European by their look, and nomadic people who look more Asiatic. These are Kazakhs and Kyrgyz and partly Turkmens. These people lived there centuries, and it was the place where people just survived under the flags of tolerance and self-respect or inter-respect. I was born in Kyrgyzstan, but in a mixed family. My mother's side are Uzbeks, my father's side are Kyrgyz. My mother died when I was 12 and I moved to live with my granny. When I was 20 years old, I published my first poems in the local newspaper. So I decided that now I am a famous poet. Next day I was expecting that everyone in the trolley buses, in the buses, will recognize me by my face. But unfortunately, I've noticed that my local butcher was wrapping up his meat into the newspaper where my poems were published. So that was the end of my illusions about recognition. So I started to work for the BBC while I was still in Uzbekistan, and working for the BBC was one of the causes of my troubles, because in 1992 we made a film about the rise of Islam in Central Asia. So we made this film, and after this film, immediately a gang attacked our house. So there were threats from all over the places, and the authorities, they didn't forgive me working for the BBC at that time. In my veins, there are Kyrgyz and Uzbek bloods as well. So I felt physically that my hands are cutting my legs, that was the feeling of pain in myself, because both people are very close to each other. They are of the same language group, they are of the same faith, they are of the same roots, Even crow doesn't peck the eye of another crow, but why we people, kill each other? I have no illusion that my writing will help. But where I can help by my writing is just to think it over once again, take a step back and think once again, Are we human beings? Are there any choices here? If I say care about your father, a horse gallops. If I say think about your mother, a bird stretches her double wings. If I say tell about your people, my people are strangers to themselves. If I say you are the same, life is even worse than me. This life can't be overcome even by death.